going, everybody? It's today's Genesis 18, Thursday, 4-2-20. I just wanted to say, it's crazy how God made the world where nobody's perfect, and so that's a good thing. Like, imagine if you were perfect, you would have nothing to work for in your life. Like, every day you gotta better yourself, and if you're perfect, like the reason for life is to become better at something every day. Just try to become better. So that's why nobody's perfect in the world, which means they can still live. Because if you were perfect, you would have nothing to live for. Life would be boring, man. So I just want to say, anything you're working on, man, just keep working at it. You're never gonna be perfect. Everything takes a lot of time and slowly gets better. So think of all the sins in the world: jealousy, lust, envy, hate, all that stuff. Like, nobody's gonna be perfect. You're always gonna have something that you gotta work on, and it's all about working and getting better. But here we go, Genesis 18. Alright. The three visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw three men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat so you can be refreshed, and then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered. "Do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the. Oh, I put a question on "very well" and "do as you say" because I don't know whose words those are. I don't know if those are angels. I don't know who the three visitors are, so I put a question mark as "very well, do as you say," because I was thinking they were angels, but I'm not really sure. It doesn't say angels' words, so I didn't highlight it as angels' words. But "very well," they answered, "do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, "get 3 seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf, and gave it to a servant, who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared, and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There, in the tent," he said. Then one of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" Then the Lord said to Abraham, Lord said, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I am old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, "I did not laugh." But he said, "Yes, you did laugh." He said, "Yes, you did laugh." I don't know if that's God's words or what, but I put a question mark on "yes, he did laugh." I think that's God's words that said "yes, he did laugh." But alright. Abraham pleads for Sodom. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. I like the part where it says, so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. I like that part. Alright. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. The men turned away and went towards Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. I like that part right there. To kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Because that's kind of what's happening right now, man. And like this virus and stuff, everybody's getting it, man. And it don't matter if you're good or bad. Like, we've been doing bad for so long. That's part of, like, I don't know what to say, but for some reason I like that part. Far be it from you, will not the judge of all the earth do what is right? The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. That's the Lord's words. The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Then Abraham spoke up again. Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5 people? The Lord's words, if I find 45 there, he said, I will not destroy it. Once again he spoke to him, what if only 40 are found there? He said, for the sake of 40 I will not do it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there? He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. Abraham said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there? He said, for the sake of 20 I will not destroy it. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there? He answered, for the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. That could go for us too, you know what I'm saying? We just got to be our best, man. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. That's it for today, but another thing I liked right now is where Abraham said, now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes. So I'm going to put, highlight, so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes. That shows humbleness, you know. Just being humble, like you have to be when you're talking to the Lord, because we're nothing but dust and ashes that He created. So when we're pleading with Him, we're really nothing. We're really nothing to be pleading with Him, but He hears our cries and He'll listen, even though we got to be humble. You know, we're nothing. We're nothing. God bless everybody. Love you.